Am I the asshole for telling my in-laws to get a job? I've been stressed out lately and I think I blew up on them and was unnecessarily rude. Now that I'm calming down enough to think about it. Me and my husband both work. We have a 3-year-old. He works at an office job while I work from home while being a stay-at-home mom. So I keep the house together, cook dinner and work while keeping my toddler entertained. It's tough, but we're doing it and have a system. My job is flexible and as long as I get tasks done at the end of the week, they're happy. Some days I don't get to work all day and have to work into the night. Life got tough and I began to get behind on tasks, so we agreed to try out daycare once a week so that can be my one full work day, without being a mom or focusing on the house. Anyway, my in-laws keep making comments about it that piss me off. When I first mentioned it, they were shocked and said that we're spending a lot of money just for something I can do. After a few months, they started making comments like, "Oh, it's your break day." Or, "You get to relax today." My 2 sister-in-laws are stay-at-home moms and I just can't find myself relating with them. They talk often about how they get to nap during the day and how they do playdates and drink wine with other moms. They talk about all these shows they watch or TikTok trends. I don't ever have time for those unless I stay up after bedtime, but I'm usually too exhausted for that. I don't judge their lifestyle. In fact, I'm happy that they are able to do this and hope that once my husband finishes his schooling and we get to a good financial position, I can live like that too. I usually can ignore them, but last night we were over at a family gathering. My mother-in-law and 2 sills were talking and they mentioned how today would be my break day again. I laughed awkwardly and tried to change the subject, but my sister-in-law kept exclaiming that I'm so lucky and that she's envious that I get a break just to relax. I tried to mention that it's not much of a break with working, but my other in-laws chimed in and were talking about how they wished they could just leave their kids without a care. I don't know what happened, but I snapped. I stood up, told them that they should get a job to see how hard it really is, and walked away. My husband quickly packed us all up and we left. We agree that I overreacted, but I just wanted to see what other people think. I think I should apologize to them. Edit to add. My husband does just as much as I do, if not more. I get more sleep than he does. We just are trying not to get any debt and are investing in our future right now. I didn't mean to make it sound like he's slacking. First and foremost, stop calling yourself a stay-at-home mom. You are not a stay-at-home mom. You are a working mom who manages her household while constantly multitasking. Not the asshole except to yourself. You're not a stay-at-home mom if you're working. Get your husband to step up and do his share and stop following whatever crap you guys are listening to that says that women should take care of the house. If he uses a bathroom or a dish, he can clean it too. Don't apologize. They're being petty at your expense. It's not a joke if it's laughing at your expense. Don't grovel. They already think they are better than you. Keep doing you. Be the best version of you for your family. Pay this no attention. What are you apologizing for? Telling the truth. They've been purposely misrepresenting what you do every time they open their mouths. All you did was correct them. You didn't overreact. If anything, you've been underreacting while allowing them to mistreat you. You simply met their aggression with something they understand. Good for you. And your husband agreed. You overreacted. Well, he's just a peach, isn't he? Why hasn't he spoken up to defend you, to get his obnoxious sisters and mother in line, to tell these bullies that what they're doing is unacceptable? He's the one you need to speak to, and you're the one who is owed an apology from every single one of them. Not the asshole, and your husband should be sticking up for you. Working while taking care of kids is not an easy task. It's not your fault your in-laws are kind of stupid. The fact that your husband lets them keep taking jabs at you speaks volumes. Am I the asshole for switching the speaker at work because I can't stand country music? Me, 20 female, and my coworker, 21 male, I'll call him Jay, got into an argument this morning. We work at a place with a speaker. I don't want to be specific. The employees connect to it and play our own playlists as long as they're clean. An issue this summer is a different coworker will play nothing but country for 5+ hours straight. Unfortunately, Jay has also recently started playing nothing but country, even though I've literally never heard him play country or even talk about liking it. The country music has gotten to the point that one of our managers has said in the work GC to not play only country for a whole shift. It's fine to play a country song every now and then, just not the whole time. Unfortunately, they both still do. This morning when Jay connects to the speaker, he starts playing country and I give it like 30-ish minutes for a non-country song to play. It was only country, so I decide to just add enough stuff to the queue that I'll be off before I have to hear another country song. Luckily the jam popped up, so I started adding songs, older songs and 2000s pop music. When my song started playing, he turned off his jam, so I connected to the speaker. Multiple people can be on it at once. And tried playing my music and he kept pausing it, and it was like this for a while to the point other people told us to cut it out, and he gave up at that point and let me have the speaker. I did kind of laugh when it was happening because I guess I wanted to convey that I wasn't upset and I was trying to be lighthearted, but maybe he took offense to that. When it was happening, here's my best recollection of the convo. Jay, give me a good reason that I can't play country. I'm not listening to nothing but country. Jay, no, give me an actual good reason why you don't like it and I can't play it. Okay, fine, you want an actual good reason why we shouldn't play country music? What if I played classical music? Country is for a specific group of people and isn't what the majority of people like. Jay, plenty of people like country. Also, country pop exists. No, because the majority of people know and listen to pop music, so we should just play that. Also, your manager, your boss said not to play nothing but country, and that should be enough of a reason. Jay, it wasn't only country music. The playlist was called country music, so yes, it was only country music. He wasn't yelling at me, but he was pretty upset. Did I make it a bigger deal than it needed to be? Country music makes me feel homicidal, and at first I thought it was funny, but I guess he didn't. But I've had some of my favorite songs skipped or have been booted from the speaker before, and I've never made a fuss. I am newer to Reddit, so I clarified some things in the comments somewhere, but I don't know how to pin it somehow. Thanks for all the responses and opinions. As a longtime manager, this is the kind of thing that drives me crazy. You try to let your team have some simple autonomy, and one person has to be a difficult jerk. Now they have to have rules about what music genre everyone listens to. WTAF. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but the company may need to put together the playlist. Something to take the choice away from you all. This is how policies get put in place. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Manager said stop. He didn't. You fixed it. His ego's bruised, but that a him problem. Not the asshole. This is a great way to get the speaker removed if you continue to disagree on what type of music to listen to, but it will cause some tension between you guys, knowing because of you the speaker gets taken away. They aren't being fair but are stubborn and won't see any other way. Sorry op. Not the asshole, but this will always be an issue with a public and shared speaker. When I worked at a factory that had satellite radio, every 6 months they would have the employees vote on their favorite stations and have a different genre for each day of the week. Would that be a compromise? They get a country day or two and the rest are classic rock, 90s, 80s, popular music. Figure it out among yourselves. Not the asshole. Boss said not to play all country songs, them last two were western. Break the damn speaker at this point. Am I the asshole for refusing to be my mom's only caretaker when my sister is paid to help? For as long as I, 25F, can remember, I've been by my mom's, 64F, side. I've always handled her paperwork, tech issues, cooking, cleaning, you name it. When she was diagnosed with cancer, I took on even more. I scheduled her appointments, arranged transportation, went with her to every one, and helped her through treatment. Meanwhile, my sister, 28F, was hired to take care of our mom, but nothing changed. She stays in her room gaming all day and doesn't help around the house or with our mom. Everything practical, emotional, and logistical still falls on me. I began visiting my oldest sister, 38F, who moved out years ago due to our mom's emotional and mental abuse. She's a narcissist. Talking with my older sister made me realize how much pressure I've been under and that I may need therapy. While I was away, my mom constantly called me for help with things I couldn't fix remotely. I kept telling her to ask my sister, who is home with her and gets paid to help, but she refused every time. I eventually got so upset that I hung up mid-call. When I got home a few days later, I was exhausted from traveling. I ate, put my dish in the sink, and went to bed. At around 3 a.m., my mom came into my room, walked right past my sister, who'd been gaming all day, and told me to do the dishes and take out the trash. The sink was already full of dishes, and the trash was overflowing, not just mine. The next day, I told them I'd be gone for another 3 days to visit some friends. Before I left, I gave my sister all the passwords and clear instructions for apps, medical portals, and essential websites so she could help our mom while I was gone. On the first day away, my mom called to ask when her next appointment was and whether transportation had been scheduled. I asked her where my sister was and reminded her that she is the one being paid to help and has all the information. Again, she refused to ask her. I helped, but after that, I turned off my phone for the rest of the trip. When I got home and finally woke up, I was still groggy and just trying to use the bathroom. While I was literally on the toilet, my mom walked in and started rattling off a date and time for an appointment she wanted transportation scheduled for. I got irritated and said, "Where's your other employee? I physically cannot help you right now. I am on the toilet." Honestly, I was frustrated. I'm burned out. That's why I've been trying to leave the house more, because staying here is draining my already fucked mental health. I've tried to set boundaries, but they're ignored. I've given my sister all the tools she needs to help, but she refuses to learn, and my mom will not go to anyone but me, even when I'm physically unavailable. It makes me wonder what will happen when my own life starts moving forward and I simply cannot be here all the time. So, am I the asshole for trying to step back, set boundaries, and expect my sister to finally do the job she's being paid for? Update. I can't just up and go, but this thread so far has given me insight, hope, and great advice that I will be taking to hurry up and GTFO of here as soon as I can. Thank you all. Whole EY. Not the asshole but so many questions. 1. Who is paying your sister? 2. I know you say your sister games all day, but does she have an actual job? 3. Any idea why your sister won't help your mom or your mom won't ask your sister? Does your mom know sister is getting paid? Stop helping your mom. If sister is getting paid, let your mom complain to the people paying her that she's not getting what she needs. If your mom is paying your sister, you either need to demand that change, stop helping, and honestly, move out. I say this with love. Boundaries without enforcement are just requests, and requests can be denied. There's no trying, you either do or you don't put boundaries in place. Just don't do these things. Put all of your money and energy into moving out. Stop answering phone calls from your mom, leave texts demanding help unread. Just don't give in to the demands. You can't control what either of them do, but you can control what you do. Not the asshole. You say your sister is paid to care for your mother. Is that her legal job? Does she get paid as a caregiver? I don't know what country you are in and if you get help for care via the government, but if she is not doing her job, then can you employ a real caregiver to help? You're not the asshole. You need respite, as caring long term is a lot for anyone's physical and mental health. Not the asshole, but your sister is committing fraud. If your sister is being paid, step away. You're exactly right, she has a paid employee already. Move ASAP. Why does your mother need a caretaker? 64 is not old. I am 64 and a completely functional adult who is also a cancer survivor. It sounds to me like it's time for you to move out and start living on your own. Would I be the asshole if I kicked my boyfriend's sister out our house? Obligatory. This is a throwaway account. I don't really use Reddit that much but don't want people I know finding this. I, 25F, have been with my boyfriend, 27M, for 3 years and he moved in with me last year. Everything was going great until last Christmas when his parents announced they were selling the family home and downsizing, but they wanted to go on one of those 6-month-long cruises around the world. Fine, whatever, they can do what they want, except they have a younger daughter, Emma, who is 18. Completely unbeknownst to me, my boyfriend had agreed to let Emma live with us until she moved away to uni. This led to a lot of fights between my boyfriend and I because I didn't want Emma living with us. Despite all this, she moved in after the house sold in February. It has been hell. For starters, our house might have 3 bedrooms but only one was used as a bedroom. One is my home and the other was a home gym for me and my boyfriend. Emma turned the gym into her room and now a lot of our equipment is in storage. I hate having Emma here as she's a total brat and doesn't contribute anything to the house. Here is just a small list of shit I had to deal with. The second Emma turned 18, she was out with friends, coming back drunk at 3 a.m. and waking up my dogs as she clattered into the house, normally with an equally drunk friend. For the first month of her living with us, she would steal my stuff constantly. Skincare, haircare, perfume, clothes. Anything. I now have a lockable box for toiletries so she can't get to them. Has lost 6 different sets of house keys since moving in and I've had to have the lock changed twice due to various issues. Refuses to do anything I ask her to do because she's busy. She doesn't have a job. How is she busy? Refuses to eat anything I cook and will demand we order takeaway instead. I have asked her repeatedly for meals ideas and even if I make that exact meal, she refuses to eat it as, it doesn't taste right. The breaking point came last weekend when me, my boyfriend and the dogs went away for the weekend. I was reluctant to leave Emma in the house by herself, but my boyfriend said it would be a great way for Emma to gain some independence before going to uni. Big fucking mistake. We came back in Sunday evening to a trashed house and a hungover Emma asleep in her room. I had to get a professional cleaner in on Monday to tackle the worst of the mess after I spent half the night cleaning. I'm done. I want her out the house. I thought I could deal with this until she moved away in September, but I can't, especially now that she's talking about putting her place on hold for a year so she can go traveling and use our house as a base. No, I want her gone and out ASAP. True, she has nowhere to go as her parents aren't back from their cruise until the end of August, but I don't care. I want her gone. I've talked to my boyfriend about this and he won't budge because Emma is family and he can't kick her out. So would I be the asshole if I kick her out? Edit. Forgot to mention this in the post, maybe it wasn't clear. It's my house. I own it outright with no mortgage and my boyfriend is not on any official documents. The only thing in his name is our Sky TV payments. Everything else is in my name as I lived here before he moved in. He does pay half towards bills but he just sends the money to me each month. I'm going to try and talk to Emma and boyfriend's parents. I've sent them a text message asking to call me ASAP. I'm also reaching out to Emma and my boyfriend's older sister to see if she will take Emma in for a while. I doubt she will as they don't get along and she has a 2-year-old, but it's worth a shot. Not the asshole. But I think you need to kick the boyfriend out with her. He doesn't respect you at all. Not the asshole. It's your house. I would have kicked them both out the second I found out he said it was okay without ever talking to you. 18 is old enough to know better. She's also not your problem, she is his problem. I would be seriously reconsidering this family and marriage long term as boundaries don't seem to exist to begin with. Not the asshole. I would kick them both out before they bring their parents too. Remember that their parents sold their house and used their money to take a cruise. Just where they going to stay when they get back? Hint. You got 3 bedrooms and a manipulative BF. Not the asshole. Kick both of them out. Boyfriend has already proved he doesn't respect you. Why WNBTA to kick her out? But FYI, you and your boyfriend are incompatible. Might as well end it now. Not the asshole. Kick both out. Does the sister even know this is your house? She might think it's her brother's and that's why she acts as though she owns the place.